Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. This topic is a lumberjack special. And if I were to kind of highlight there's a couple things. Well, first, let me welcome him to the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm super excited.
I was just going to get on a big rant. So I'm like, I should pause for a second.
Pause for station identification and for the
Yeah,
commercial.
exactly. Jeez, Zuber, shut up. Sorry about that, everyone. There's something that I love about us, and that is our consistency.
Yeah.
And our message doesn't change, right? I have all my videos, all 6,000 plus of them way back when. Our messages doesn't change. We admit when we're wrong. We don't like there's a lot of people doing crash videos that did crash videos 2 years ago and they delete them. It's not who we are. But it's really funny. As our channel and present grows, we do get some pretty consistent haters.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
That almost are trying to fight us.
Yeah.
But our message hasn't changed. If you don't like the message, I don't understand. So tell me what's going on.
So I think, number one, I think you're over 7,000 videos. But
oh, jeez.
Who's counting? You often forget how many books you've written too.
Yeah, exactly.
A good problem to have, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, all we do is share our experiences. We're not giving advice. We're giving, this is what our experience is, and this is how we believe it's going to affect us and how it may affect the market. And then it's up to the people to decide, do I fit in that? Like, is that for me? Like, is that advice for me? Is there something in there? Is there something in that statement for me? And so everything that I do is experiential. So when people say, hey, let's talk about this product, I don't use that product. I have no idea. And I'll tell you, I didn't use that product. I don't know. This is what I use. And this is what my experience is with. And this is how awesome it is. And so a lot of times when we talk about things is, one of the latest videos that I did was something about how to do nicer finishes on a budget. And essentially nicer finishes on a budget is certain products that I use to give you that nicer finish, and it's on a budget. And so when it's all said and done, you can do these 3 or 4 things and they cost you for an entire apartment. It might cost you an extra $200, but it's stuff that's in place. Right? It's not something you change it every year. It's something that's in place. And I've got people fighting me. And they're just like, everything, but all your units are $2,000 units. I have 35 units under $1,000. I have 30. Fight me if you want. I don't care. If you think so, the lumberjack is so arrogant, he thinks this is the only way. I'm not. I'm saying this is how I went from this many units to I don't have that many fingers units to 117 units. That was my journey. And these are the things that I picked up along the way, which was if I can spend 200 and drastically up the experience for the people walking into the place, I'm going to beat the guy who has none of the nice finishes because he couldn't justify the $200. And if you can't, that's fine. But at the same time too, don't sit there and say like all my units are $3,000 a month units. You're completely wrong. I have more units under $1,000 than I have over $2,500. So I have plenty in the middle, but I've got 35 units under $1,000, and we give that same experience. Yeah. We want to use the same footprint. We want to use the same materials because it gives people that feeling, just like you have the belief of, your pride of ownership rehabs. You do that, yes, for higher rents, but then it's done and it's good for a decade, maybe 15 years. Exactly. But you get the higher rents, but also people stay. Yeah. They stay because it's a nice place with nice extras. And when you go out and looking at the budget or at the other guys that are trying to save the $200 that I spent, the only thing that people walk out of that unit thinking is, man, really it's really basic.
Yeah. Well, it's
Today's
really
version of basic.
Yeah. So it's really interesting, right? We both have almost 40 years combined doing this. Yeah. And a lot of the new investors, have 2, 3, 4, 5 years, which it's been a really good rental market.
Sure. Yeah.
And if you're a landlord, you could skip the $200 and it doesn't matter, right? Instead of 15 apps, you'll have 12 apps. Right. You still have the pick of your litter. I've invested through times where rentals rates are flat. Yes. I've invested in markets where vacancies are north of 7%, and the average today is 1.5%. I've invested in times where you had to give move-in specials. So the extra $200 may not, you may be fighting it today because you haven't needed it.
Right.
Well, winter's here.
Right.
And, we may have a little bit more time where rentals are hot. Cause again, I think affordability is so bad in housing that rentals stay hot. But over the next 5 years, as housing is flat, rents go up, the equation will flip flop. And I think people just, it really is weird when you give, you stay consistent, you don't fear monger. You do get these haters, consistent. I don't mind disagreement, but hate, and more importantly, repeated hate for my consistent message. I mean, what do you want? You think you're going to bully me into changing my opinion? Is that really what you're trying to do? I don't get it.
My business is time tested and true. I've made it through the Great Recession. I didn't have one late payment. I have banks making products for me, and I'm sharing with people how to do that. I'm sharing them all the products that I use because I found the products for me in my rental business that hold up, they last, and people always tell me, they're just like, I really just love the finishes in this place.
Yeah.
And when no one right now has to compete on the landlord side, no one has to compete. Just having a unit available, you're a winner.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
But
think. Yeah.
in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, we don't know. We don't know if they're going to try UBI again and people are going to get flush with money. We don't know if they're going to quadruple the size of Section 8 housing. We don't know any of these things. And so at the end of the day, here's what I can tell you. Your unit against mine nicer finishes than yours. And basically the same price, I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to beat you every time. I'm always going to get the better tenant. I'm always going to get the one that sticks around longer. I'm going to get all of those things because it feels more like home to them. And I never, ever, ever look at tenants like they're not people. My rule is I won't rent out a place that I wouldn't live in myself. I want nicer finishes. So the only places that we have, and quite frankly, we have a bunch of buildings that we bought last year that we're transitioning through them. I hate those units. I hate them. I want to make them really nice and not overspend or get crazy, but they need massive amounts of upgrading, flooring and things like that, like 30-year-old carpet. It's gross.
Oh,
and so, yeah, so those are the things that I want to do. And so I take pride in what I do. And that's why my business has grown. That's why I have repeat tenants. That's why I have 200 people on a waiting list trying to get into my units. And I make plenty of money. And at the end of the day, I want a standard in my units that it's not just about the bottom line, but it's about providing people a nice place that they can call home, that they're also proud of. And it's not this basic place that, quite frankly, you can tell the landlord tries to skip out of every improvement that there is.
Let's give people a quick 1 or 2 or 3 things that you might add for $200. I'm going to guess like handles and knobs on cabinets.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the debates is knobs or handles. I hate knobs. I hate them. I don't think they're classy. I don't think they're pretty. I don't think they're stylish.
I agree.
think they're garbage.
They're very 1970s when I look at them.
This handle is $1.
Yep. That's funny. That's what I have in my home.
They're beautiful. I have them in my home. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. This is $1. So when you do the entire kitchen, knobs is $12. Handles is $30. $18 difference. When you look at lights, it's the same exact thing. Can lights, right? Yep. Those big, bright, and they're like $7 a light. Get the retrofit LEDs to put in that place. The same thing like you get the Home Depot lights. Same exact thing. For me, it's lighting and handles. Lighting and handles is a really nice way to improve a place that can make it look a whole lot nicer. And it's not going to bust the budget. And then the electronic locks, like we did the video on your channel. I've got the video on my channel. Dion's got his schlong.
New toilet seats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I that's kind of, for me, that's not an upgrade.
No, but it's shocking how many landlords don't.
Right. But that is something. Yeah. 100% toilet seats when absolutely. So it's just little things like that people will realize and see that there's a difference. Not going up and seeing that all of the handles are brass. No one likes brass and gold handles. No, don't lie. Don't tell me you like those. Stop. Don't put that in the comments either. But I mean, so yeah, so it's just those things where it's like, I can go through a place, I can spend a couple $100. I can give it a modern feel. It's already going to get fresh paint. but I can give it that modern feel for a little bit of money. And it makes people connect more with it because it's nice things. And then my challenge back to them was, you're decorating like a dude.
Yes. Decorate.
I don't decorate like a dude. You can ask
No.
my wife. I get in touch with my softer side. It's a small part of me, but I tap
You
into
try
it.
to hide it, but it is there.
Exactly. Exactly. Look how well coordinated this is. Look at this outfit. That's coordinated.
I like
Yeah.
it.
It's not a t-shirt and a hat like I got right now, but I can touch that side of me. And so all I would say is that's what people have to connect with, is that most apartments are going to have a couple where there is a girl or two girls or friends that are girls. That is a major part of your market.
Yeah.
Make it stylish, make it feel like they're at home and that they can connect with it.
Mhm.
And they're, and even paints and some things like just some modern colors, they're not going to leave.
Yeah.
They're not going to leave.
I totally agree. What we're going to do, folks, is Matt and I are going to talk again on Tuesday, and I'm going to ask him to send me a list of handles and lights and things of that nature. So we'll do a full breakdown of that on Tuesday, now that he's told us this is coming. So we will do a review of the Lumberjack approved stuff. It will come out on Tuesday. Where can people find you?
Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube and on Instagram. And then my awesome review series is on my channel and live. We have 5 videos on there, lights, handles, all that stuff, but I'll come here and I'll review it from Michael as well.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Mike.